Danke. Liebe Frau
Ms. Hartmann, Matti Geschenek, Shelley Kupferberg. I also wanted to say Martin Moshkovich, hello to you, but he hasn't arrived yet. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you very, very cordially here at the Academy of the Arts. I am very happy that we can make our rooms available for today's screening of the film, and by doing that support the work of the memorial and educational site. What remains after 80 years? Balshintov said the secret of redemption is memory, remembrance. This has often been quoted, but do we really understand what that means? How does memory, remembrance work in today's world of Facebook and Instagram, where millions of clicks always belong to the latest and loudest news? And what is remembrance for those who do not want to remember the perpetrators, the collaborators, those who were born later, who believe that the Shoah doesn't matter anymore for them? Education and memorial is part of this archive. This can help to educate. On February 15th, 1933, 16 days after the rise to power of the National Socialists, the Prussian Minister of Cultural Affairs, de Rust, tried to blame Heinrich Mann and Käthe Kollwitz and pushed them out of the Academy of the Arts, together with other intellectuals. These two, Mann and Kollwitz, had signed the urgent appeal of the International Socialist Working Association, which tried to prevent fascism winning at the next elections. Rust used this as a pretext to demand they leave the academy, otherwise he threatened to dissolve the institution. He was supported by the president of the academy, Max von Schillings. Käthe Kollwitz and Heinrich Mann drew the consequences and left to avoid consequences for the community of artists. The National Socialists took over the academy without a lot of resistance. The academy regretted the leaving of the two, but there was not a lot of resistance. Ricarda Huch, the president of honor, Max Liebermann, were among the only ones who dared to resist and left the academy. Many of the remaining artists quickly followed the direction of the new regime and participated in the restructuring. The section for poetry in March of 1933 required its members to declare their loyalty vis-à-vis the National Socialist state. The institution consequently lost its moral integrity and lost the importance it used to have in the cultural life of the Weimar Republic. Between 1933 and 1938, 41 members, because of political reasons or their Jewish heritage, were excluded and forced to leave the academy. The names of these members can be read on the facade of the building next to the entrance. The history of the Academy of the Arts is an example that highlights how quickly things can change. So it needs to be told again and again. This history. This story needs to be repeated, and we shall not forget it. We remember the Shoah, the millions of people who were killed. We remember what happened. To not make the mistake of feeling safe without really being safe. Freedom and democratic structures aren't self-evident. In his book, February 1933, Uwe Wittstock writes about the danger, how big it was and how underestimated it was, how very quickly after Hitler came into power, it just took 4 weeks, he passed the emergency legislation to protect the people and the state, and basically all democratic citizens' rights were neglected. Since that time, the unimaginable has become imaginable. The Shoah happened. The decision for the complete extermination of the Jews was taken at the Wannseekonferenz. That's where it was planned. And as far as possible, it was implemented. But what images, shapes, what forms and language can we find to appropriately describe the unimaginable and really embed it in the consciousness of people? Can this be achieved at all? There are at least 2 films about the Wannseekonferenz, 84, directed by Heinz Schirk and Paul Momitz, and Conspiracy from 2001 with Frank Pearson, with Kenneth Branagh and Stanley Tucci. Very realistic feature films. There are numerous documentaries focusing on the Shoah, beginning with Noé Bouillard, Nacht im Nebel by Alain René, Claude Lassmann, Shoah, The Trial, a presentation of the Majdanek proceedings in Düsseldorf, the movies by Marcel Ophüls, Wolfgang Staudtes, Die Mörder sind unter uns from 1946, and others, to just name a few, to keep the memory alive. Hours of material from the interview of Eichmann in Jerusalem. We can use this to keep asking questions, keep communicating with the younger generation. But it's not enough. It will never be enough. We have to keep talking about it. We have to keep the memory alive. This is the only hope for education to prevail. Now, the great director Matti Geschonek, who has already shot a lot of feature films and documentaries, taken over the chair of the director. This attempt to take this unbelievable, unimaginable event and present it, his decision to have the actors act in a very cold way, epically, along the teachings of Brecht, is one of the strengths of this film. You will be able to see the rest yourselves. Thank you very much.
Sehr geehrte
Professor Meerapfel, Matti Geschonek, dear guests, I am here very briefly on behalf of the House of the Wannseekonferenz Memorial and Educational Site. We just wanted to say thank you very much for being here on January 20th. We have just concluded 2 days of conference with very intensive discussions, and we're very happy that this part of the conference finds another way of closing the conference, looking at this situation in a different way, not from a pedagogical, educational point of view, but looking at this, watching this film. Some of you, some of us have already seen it, and it is really great. Let me just ask a technical question. We seem to have had some technical problems. That seems to have been solved, and after the film, after the showing, we will also have a discussion that will be streamed again, so thank you very much.